Now, the US president's called for dialogue with the Kremlin after signing off on new sanctions against Russia. The broad sanctions are to punish Russia for interfering in last year's US election and orchestrating cyber attacks and other hostile acts. Moscow denies the accusations and says it will respond in kind.
Now is the time to de-escalate. The way forward is through thoughtful dialogue and diplomatic process. The U.S. is prepared to continue constructively to move toward that process. My bottom line is this: where there's an interest in the United States to work with Russia, we should and we will. Where Russia seeks to violate the interests of the United States, we will respond.
Let's get more now from Bernard Smith. He joins me live from Moscow. Bernard, has there been any reaction yet from politicians in Moscow?
We're expecting later today to hear from the Kremlin's spokesman in his daily press briefing. And Sergei Lavrov, Russia's foreign minister, is having a press conference with his Serbian counterpart later on Friday, where we may well hear more. Russia hasn't said explicitly what it's going to do yet in response to the US sanctions, but almost certainly we know that the US is going to expel 10 Russian diplomats. Well, almost certainly Russia will, at the very minimum, reciprocate with that. There is a long list, of course, of American complaints against Russia, from allegations of interference in presidential elections, cyber hacking, the jailing of opposition politician Alexei Navalny, the occupation of Crimea, and a host of other what the Americans call malign acts. Russia denies taking any part in all of this, and the first response we had was from the Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova, and she says that Biden's sanctions contradict his stated desire in a phone call on Tuesday night with Vladimir Putin to normalize ties. She says this aggressive behavior will receive a decisive rebuff. Now, economically, Russia's ruble recovered some of the losses it had suffered ahead of the announcement of sanctions, and that's because it's believed that the restrictions placed on dealing in Russian debt are not as severe as they might have been, but there's more the Americans could yet do.
OK, Bernard Smith there, bringing us up to date from Moscow. Thank you, Bernard.